Hello, folks. This is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on March 27th, 2023. If you'd like to support my game, Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, with this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see I have 5 colors on my game card. They are red, orange, green, blue, and purple. And these represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to the Powerball homepage, find out what those 5 white numbers were. And they were the 15, 17, 18, 47, and 57. The Powerball number was the 19, but right now I'm only concerned about these 5 white ball numbers. Okay, so you can see I put those numbers at the top of this list. Again, they were the 15, 17, 18, 47, and 57. And now I'm going to put some colors to it like I did here in the past. Okay, so you can see with this game card, it's for March 25th. So I need to update it to the 27th. But before I do, I need to get the colors for these numbers. Okay, so the 15 and the 17 were both blue. Then the 18 was orange. And the 47 and the 57 were both red. Okay, so 3 out of the 5 colors came up. And now I'm going to make this 228 color code drawings I kept track of so far. And now a 3 color combination has now come up 110 times. Okay, so you can see a 3 color combination comes up the most. So what that means is that 2 colors are not coming up the most. And that's what I want to focus on here. So again, 2 colors are not coming up the most. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to predict what color group will not be coming up, and I'm going to eliminate those numbers off of my game card. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to update my game card. So I'm going to get rid of all these colors and start from scratch. Okay, so my color code is right here. Here's the red numbers, the orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So I'm going to transfer these 15 numbers over to my game card as red numbers. Okay, so again, it was the 15, 17, 18, 47, and 57. The next line down is the 27, 28, 37, 50, and 57. You can see that's already taken. So the next line is the 1, the 27 is already taken, so the 32, 47 is already taken, so the last one is the 67. So again, I'm going to make these red. And now I'm going to count how many I have on my game card. So over here I got 4, 2 are 6, 3 are 9, and 3 are 12. Okay, so up here I'm going to make this 12. And then I'm going to move on to the orange, where I'm going to transfer these 20 numbers over to the game card as orange numbers. Okay, so starting with the 14, the 20, the 30, 54, and the 69. The next line down is the 16. The 18 is already taken, so the 33. The 37 is already taken, so the 50 is already taken. So the next line down is the 3, the 10, the 24, 46, and 63. And the last line is the 11. The 20 is already taken. The 33 is already taken, so the 43 and the 58. So again, I make these orange, and I'll count how many I have. So over here I got 5 and 4 are 9, 1's 10, 2 are 12, and 3 are 15. Okay, so now I move on to the green, then the blue, and whatever's left over is purple. But you can see I already did this game card, so I'm just going to copy and paste just to speed things up a little bit. Okay, so you can see I had 12 red, 15 orange, turned out to be 13 green, 15 blue, and 14 purple numbers. Okay, so why is this important to do? Okay, so with this color code, through trial and error, how I have it set up, this gives me double digit numbers per color. Okay, and it's very consistent like this. Okay, so when you have consistency in something that's so unpredictable like the lottery, that's just a huge step. Okay, so and when you have consistency, then things can get predictable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to predict what color group will not be coming up. And I've been looking at this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with no green numbers. Okay, and the reason why is because you can see here the last drawing didn't have any green numbers. Okay, and as I keep on going down, here's one with no green numbers, but there's a green number right below it. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is that there's a couple of these drawings that hasn't happened in a while where there's no green numbers in two drawings in a row. Okay, so here it is right here. Okay, so this hasn't happened in a while. Okay, so I'm going to predict that it's going to happen here. There was no green numbers with this one, and now I think there's going to be no green numbers with this drawing coming up as well. Okay, so I'm going to block out these green numbers. And when I do this, this means I'm not even going to consider these numbers when I'm picking what I think would be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so I'm going to block these out. Okay, so if I made the correct picks here and none of these green numbers come up, then I just reduce the odds for myself by a little bit. Okay, so I'd rather pick from this many numbers than 69 numbers. Okay, so I just knocked out 13 numbers, so that's good. Hopefully I made the correct pick. Okay, so maybe you heard the saying divide and conquer. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to my next strategy where I'm going to try to pick, again, a group of numbers that I hope will not be coming up. Okay, so here's those winning numbers again, the 15, 17, 18, 47, 57. And as you follow this plane across, you can see that here's the 15, and I made this square blue because the 15 is blue. Okay, so what I did here is I took all 69 numbers and I divided it into 7 different groups. Okay, so here's group number 1, holds the numbers of 1 through 9. Of course, this is the only group with 9 numbers, where the other 6 have 10 numbers to it for 69 numbers. Okay, so this big square right here, I divided this into 5 drawings. Okay, and the reason why is because I'll show you how this goes hand in hand with the color group. Okay, with the color code and the game card. Okay, so I want to go to the 20 numbers, I guess. Or actually, I go to the 50s. This happened a little bit more recently. Okay, so you can see this green number came up. It was the 54. And as I was making my videos, I said, hey, here's a green number here. And then I don't see any green for a little while. I think a green number is due to come up. Okay, and finally it did when the 54 came up. Okay, there was actually a couple green numbers, the 51 and 55. I thought it was going to be the 51. Turned out to be the 54. Okay, so the reason why I brought that up is so I could count quick. Okay, so here's that green number. I said, okay, it hasn't come up in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 33 drawings. So, when it gets into the 30s and 40s like that, it's really due that a certain color will be due to come up. Okay, so this is how I use my game. So when I divided things into 5, again, for to count easier, quicker, I noticed that the average of hits that come in per group is 4. Okay, so when I see something that's been over 4, like this one I got correct for this drawing right here. I said, hey, this is above average. It's already had 5 hits. I don't think anything's going to come up, and nothing came up. Okay, so let me reduce this down so you can see the whole card. And again, the first thing I like to look for is a color that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so I'll look over here and I'll see red, orange, green, blue, purple. All 5 colors are pretty close to the top here. Okay, so again, I want to look for something that's hasn't come up in like 20-30 drawings. Okay, so here's red, orange, green, blue, purple. All 5 colors are right there. Red, orange, green, blue, purple again. So here's one with the 20 numbers. I haven't seen a purple number come up in a while, so it's been 5, 10, 15, 16, 17 drawings so far. Okay, so I'll keep on going here. Here's one with an orange number that hasn't come up in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27 drawings here in the 40 numbers. Okay, so that's getting up to that 30 mark, you know. It's the same thing with the purple. Purple's only a couple steps behind. Okay, this blue hasn't come up in a little while, in the 50s. And this purple hasn't really come up in the 60s as well. But right now, the 40 numbers are really sticking out. So I'm going to blow this back up and look at the 40 numbers and see if there's any orange numbers. Okay, so I got the 43 and I got the 46. Okay, so I'm just going to keep those 2 numbers in the back of my mind here, okay? But the overall strategy is try to correctly guess what what group will not be coming up. So there's 7 groups here, and there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So I know that 2 of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so my guess is that no 10 through 19 numbers are going to come up. And the reason why is, again, I said that 4 is kind of like the average for these 5 drawings. And you can see that this is above average, this is average, above average, average, average. You know, so these have been just really hot for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 40 drawings that these numbers have been really hot. And I already got 3 of them here for this drawing. So I'm going to predict that this is going to go cold and that none of these numbers are going to come up in this next drawing. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the 10 through 19. So I'll get rid of the 10, 11, 12, the 14, 15, 16, 17, and the 18, 19. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so now moving on to my next strategy. Again, divide and conquer here. Okay, so this is my groups, and I call this group 4 because I just simply divided all 69 numbers into 4 different color groups. Okay, I also did this with a group 6, group 8, and group 10. And the reason why I did this all evens is so there's 5 white winning Powerball numbers, so there's going to be a majority of numbers either on the left side or the right side. Okay, so I can't do that with a group 7. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a visual on how this works. And again, the winning numbers were the 15, 17, both in the red. So I'm going to put a 2, and that represents that 15, 17. And then the 18 was in blue. And then the 47 was in orange. And the 57 was in green. Okay, so all 4 color groups got hit. And the majority of the numbers were over to the left side, so I'm going to color this for red. If the majority was over here to the right side, I would color this for green. Okay, so when I look at this, and I see a bunch of green here, well, it's kind of like flipping a quarter. How many times can it come up heads before it comes up tails? So you look at this and you say, wow, it's been really green. When's it going to start turning red? Okay, so that's how I use this. So here, if I could correctly guess where a 0 is going to pop up, like here, like this 0, this means that none of these red numbers came up for that drawing. And if I could have got that correct, if I could have correctly guessed that, I could have got rid of all these numbers and gave myself a much better chance of winning some kind of prize in this Powerball lottery. Okay, so a 0 is really hard to pick, but a triple hit comes up a lot. Okay, so this is why I keep track of just 3 drawings at a time like this per row, because this next drawing I'm going to be putting a color here. Okay, is it going to be a dark red, or is it going to be a lighter red where there's only 2 hits and 1 0, or is it going to be a blue mark with 2 zeros and 1 hit, or a really dark blue mark with a 000 to it? Okay, so you can see that a triple hit comes up just about every drawing. Okay, so here's a couple zeros here, but besides that, pretty much comes up every drawing. Okay, so looking at this, I have 1, 2, 3 opportunities for a triple hit, and one that kind of sticks out the most is this orange. And I can see this being a green number right here, which means the majority would be on this side. So I'm going to predict there's going to be at least 1 hit, one of these numbers in this orange area, to come up. Okay, so I have 7 of these option cards. And again, the overall strategy is to pick where that 0 is going to be. Okay, and at the very end, I have an overview of what happened with this last drawing. Okay, so in all 7 red areas, there was 5 hits and 2 zeros. No zeros in the blue, 2 zeros in the orange, 1 0 in the green, for 5 zeros total. Okay, so this tells me if there was a 7-0. So if I could correctly guess, like let's say this red is going to have a 7-0 on this next drawing, then that means all these red areas are going to have a hit to it. Okay, so that's not really my pick, but I'm just trying to make a point here. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of skim through here because this is really hard to pick. So again, I have 7 of these option cards. I got 4 options per option card, so 4 times 7 is 28 options total. And the last drawing, there was 5 zeros out of those 28 options. Okay, so there's a couple zeros to choose from usually, between 5 and 6. And what I look for is something that's been really hot here. So you can see that this hit the last 15 drawings, 17, 18, 19 drawings in a row. Okay, for this blue, and this represents 4 and 4 is 16, 17 numbers. Okay, so that means there's 52 other numbers divided in these 3 other groups, red, orange, and green. Okay, so how long can this be sustainable? Keep on hitting a number here where there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers and there's 52 other numbers besides blue. Okay, so that's something that I look for. But I like to see a longer streak than that. Again, I have a triple hit. There's 3 triple hit opportunities. I kind of like this orange again. So I think there's going to be a lot of hits over here. And I'm kind of looking at this area right here, right? I think at least one number will be coming up here. Okay, so I got all 4 of them as a triple hit opportunity. Kind of like this number to be red, so kind of like this blue over here. Again, I kind of like these numbers right here. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so I have a triple hit opportunity here in the blue again. There's those 4 numbers again. Okay, so looking at this, I don't know, I kind of feel it's going to be the orange with a triple hit. Okay, so here's a pretty good streak of hits in a row here. I look for that as well. Kind of like to see it a little bit longer. Okay, I don't really like anything here. I'm moving on. This is why I gave myself so many option cards, so I could just cherry pick through these things. Okay, kind of like this blue again. So really narrowing down to the 3846. And I did kind of like that 46 because it was orange. Okay, so I have a group 6 as well, group 8. So the advantage with group 6 is, again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So I know that one of these colored groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Then I have a group 8 where I know that 3 of the colored groups cannot have a winning Powerball number. And then I have group 10 where I know that 5 color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so now I have a Powerball number 2 as well, and a Powerball number 3. And the reason why I have this is because, again, I keep track of every 3 drawings. So this is going to give me a different look. Okay, this is going to make it staggered. Okay, so I'll give you a visual as well. So again, it was the 15, 17, so orange, green, orange, green, orange. Okay, so 3 orange, the 15, 18, 57, and 2 green, the 17, 47. So I had no winning Powerball numbers in the red area and no winning Powerball numbers in the blue. Okay, so that's huge if I could have correctly guessed one of those. So 2 color groups got hit. They're both to the right side, so I'm going to keep this green and I'm going to give it a dark tint to it. Okay, so here there was only 1 hit, so I'm going to make it a blue mark. And here this was a triple hit, so I'm going to make it dark red. Okay, so how many triple hits did I have? I had 2. And how many blue marks did I have? I had 2. This is what I like to see right here. You know, something that's been just really hot. I know it's gonna start having zeros eventually. Okay, so the big thing here is I have no numbers at the top. Okay, so I like to have some numbers, and that will give me, you know, kind of a clue on what I think color will be coming up. Okay, so I'm going to move on to Powerball number 3. Here I only have 6 groups and 10 groups. Okay, so with this one, again, the 15, 17, red, blue, purple, blue, orange. Okay, so I had 2 blue in there. I had a red, an orange, and a purple. So no green numbers, no winning Powerball numbers in the green area, and no winning Powerball numbers in the yellow. So 4 color groups got hit. The majority of the numbers are over here to the left side, so I'm going to keep this for red. Okay, so it's been a long time since a 000 came up. And I got 2 opportunities for that. And the screen has never had a 000, so maybe it's due to have one. Okay, so again, this is staggered. At least I have one number at the top. And then here with Powerball number 2, the original, I got 2 numbers at the top, and then with number 2, I got no numbers at the top. Okay, so that's how it's staggered. Okay, so what I did is I went through and I was picking where I think the numbers are going to have a hit to it. The groups are going to have a hit to it. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, so here, looking at this, I'm thinking that this is going to have another red mark, so it's kind of doubled like this, like here. It's never happened before. So I'm thinking that one of these blue numbers are going to have a hit. So it's 11, 22, 27. So I'm going to go back to the game card here. And I'm going to transfer this game card over here to the right. Okay, so here's those numbers, the 11, 22, 27, 43, 51, 56, 60. (11, 22, 27, 43, 51, 56, 60). Okay, so I have these numbers here. So what this means, and I went through and I picked 7 others that I thought were going to have a hit to it here. And these are all the numbers right here. Okay, so what this means is that I need to keep these numbers on the board. I need to keep at least one of them on the board. If I think that this group is going to have a hit to it, then one of these numbers are going to come up if I'm correct. Okay, so looking at this, I got rid of the 11. The 51. So I'm going to make it blue, saying that it's out. Okay, so here I got the 5. The 15 is gone. And the 55 is gone. Okay, with this one, the 14's gone. The 18, 19. Okay, so here I got the 18, 19, 53, 55, 'Okay, so I got the 40 on this one, the 61, okay, all the numbers are still here for that one. Then the 15 is gone. The 36 is gone. Okay, so as I'm eliminating numbers, again, I got to keep at least one number with these groups here. Okay, so moving on, I'm going back to group 6. This is one of the groups where I thought that we're going to have a hit to it, but now I'm just looking for the zeros. Okay, so here, when I have two numbers at the top, this is the advantage because now I get to say, okay, how many blue marks is there going to be? Usually there's at least two. So I got one, and then I have an opportunity for 1, 2, 3. Okay, so maybe one of these are going to have a 0 to it. I'm kind of liking this number to be red, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here on this side. So I kind of like this yellow to have another 0 to it. So it will double up, like right here. Those blue marks will double up. So I got single, 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 single. I'm thinking it's going to double up. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of these yellow numbers. Okay, so the 12, 13, 19, 20. So I'll get rid of the 20. And I'll get rid of the 20 here as well. So then I get the 14, 15, 23, 24. So I'll get rid of the 23, 24. Okay, so moving on. I'll get rid of the 45, 46, 54, 55. Here's the 54. Okay, so I think I'm going to switch that because I like this 46. So here's the 46 right here. I'm going to put a red mark saying I like this. I'm going to be picking this. Alright, that's the only one I got. Okay, so I'm going to scratch this. Okay, so there's that 20. Okay, so I started off with the 20, so again I'm going to bring back all the numbers. And I'm just going to move on. Again, this is why I gave myself so many option cards here. Okay, I think that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe that the majority of the numbers will be over here. So I haven't seen a 000 in a little while. And I have a 000 opportunity right here. And I think I'm going to take it. So I'll get rid of the 6, 14, 26, 32, 34. So I don't have any 6s here. So the 32. And the 34. Okay, so I'll get rid of those. And then the 40, 48. So I'll get rid of the 48. Okay, so now I'll get rid of the 3644 and the 5664. Okay, so the 44. Don't see anything. Okay, so the 5664. Okay, get rid of those. And then I'll highlight that 46 again. Okay, so moving on. Here I thought this green was going to come up. You know, this red has just been so hot. Thinking that this is going to be a blue mark right here. I do think the majority of the numbers, I think this number will be green, so I think the majority will be over here. So I'm going to go with this red. Okay, so when I mark it blue like this means that when I come in to correct everything and update it, I can see if I got these numbers correct. If none of these numbers came up, I'll be like, hey, all right, I got this correct, or oh, one of these numbers came up and burned me, you know. So I'm going to get rid of the 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13. Okay, and now 50, 51, 59, 60, 68, 69. I'll get rid of the 60 here. The 68 here. Okay. So moving on. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking that the 0 is going to be here. Well, I don't like this one at all, so I'm going to move on. So I think that this number is going to be green, so I think the majority of the numbers will be over here. Kind of liking this orange to have another 0 to it, making it a blue number. We'll knock out the 46, so I can't do that. Just move on. Again, I think that this is going to be a red number, so I think the majority will be over here. Okay, so I'm looking. This purple has been just awful hot through here. Okay, so I'm going to predict that this is going to be a 0 right here. Making another blue mark. Make sure it doesn't get rid of that 46. So the 37, 44, 45, 53, 54, 62. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 37 over here. Right here. Okay, the 44, 45. I believe that's already been. Oh, here's the 45. 53, 54. There's the 54. Okay, and getting down there over here. In the 62. Any 62s in here at all? Nope. Okay, so moving on. I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. I'm going to go with this blue. I changed my mind on that. Okay, so I'm going to move on to group 8. Okay, so I know that here, 3 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, if you look over here, you see a bunch of 4s. So that means most of the time, 4 of these color groups have a hit to it, 4 of these color groups have a miss to it. Okay? Okay, so I think that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority will be over here. I think this turquoise is going to have a hit to it, making it a triple hit. So the 52 to the 60. I got the 52, 57, 58. Okay, so just keep an eye on that. Triple zero does come up a lot. I got the pink and I got the red. I don't really like either of them. I'm going to move on. I think that this is going to be a red number. So I think the majority will be over here. And look how many times there's single blue marks here in this yellow. My prediction, the 0 is going to be here and those blue marks are going to double up. So I'll go with the 6 down to the 67. So I'll get rid of the 24, 58, 67, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on. think that this is going to be a red number. Which means I believe the majority will be over here to the left side. This pink has just been really hot over here. I think it's going to be a 0 right here for a blue mark. Okay, so I'll get rid of this ring plus the 9. So I'll get rid of the 7, 23, 33. Okay. Okay, so moving on. Then I have a couple 000 opportunities. I got the purple and the turquoise. Turquoise hasn't come up in a long time. I think that it's due. I'm not going to go with this turquoise. Oh, I can't get rid of the 46. Okay, I'm going to move on. See that this has been a bunch of red over here. I think that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority will be over here. Triple hits come up a lot, so I'm kind of liking this yellow. Okay, so you can see these triple zeros, you know, they just grouped up here. Then I have one here, so I think it's gonna come up again. I think I'll get rid of this green. So I'll get rid of the 23 to the 34. So I'll get rid of the 25, 31. Okay, so I'm getting down there. Okay, so I'm kind of looking over here. Red, green, green, red. This one's just going back and forth. I'm kind of liking this red over here. It's been wicked hot. This turquoise has been really hot as well. think what I'm going to do, I just noticed these single blue marks, so I think that this is going to double up. So I think a 0 is going to be right here, making it a really dark blue. So I'll get rid of this pink. 40, 48, 58, 66. Nothing there but the 65. Yeah, get rid of that 65. Okay, so moving on. Got a couple of 000 opportunities here with the purple, turquoise, and pink. You see this turquoise has never doubled up like right here or right here, or most of all the other colored groups have. So I'm going to say that this is going to double up as well. Oh, the 46 is here. Can't do it. No, I like that 46. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to move on. I only have one 000 opportunity here. Doesn't come up very often in this purple. I think I'm going to go with it. So I'll get rid of the 14, 23, 31. I don't believe there's anything there. Nope. Then the 35, 36, 61, 63, 64. So I'll get rid of the 35, 63. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Forgot to take them off over here. Okay, so here's the 35, the 63. Okay, so moving on. Thing I noticed is the dark green mark hasn't come up in a while. Has an opportunity for it right here, so I think it's going to be a dark green, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. A triple hit, kind of like in this yellow for a triple hit. Still got the 27. And the 57. Okay, so now moving on to group 10. Okay, so here I got really good odds. I know that there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. I got 10 color groups, so I know that this is a 50-50 pick, which is really good odds. So what I'm looking for is a 000, because 000s come up a lot. In fact, here's a 0 here, so, but besides that, you know, it just doesn't, it's just always a 000 coming up. Okay, so I got a blue, orange, yellow. A lot of times these 000s double up or quadruple up or whatever. Here in the orange. Kind of like to see that happen. Okay, so I'm going to go with the orange. I'll get rid of the 7, 9, 10, 12, 19. Okay, there's nothing there. And the 60, I know the 60's gone as well. Okay, so moving on. Here in the turquoise, I got a 000 opportunity here, along with the blue and the orange. I kind of like this turquoise to double up, so I think I'll take it. So I got the 2, 22, 15, 26. So I'll get rid of the 22. Okay, so moving on. I got the 36, 52, 56. I'll get rid of the 52. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, moving on. I got the green, purple, pink, brown. I see a lot of red, so I think that this number is going to be green. So I'm kind of liking this green area here for these 000s to double up. I think the 0 is going to be here. So I'll get rid of the 3, 7, 9, 21, 25. So I'll get rid of the 21. Okay, I kind of like that 27. Look how many times the 27 comes up. Okay, so the 25 is gone. I should have knocked that out. So the 5 is the only one left. I have to have at least one number here. Okay, so I like the 27, the 5, and the 46. So I got 3 out of the 5. Okay, so I went through all my option cards, so now I'm going to look at the overview, and I'm looking for a 03 that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so you can see that, they pretty much hover to the top. The only one here is the red. I don't really like that, so I'm going to move on to my next one where I have at least one number at the top here. Okay, so it'll give me some kind of clue. Okay, so here I think it's going to be a hit, so I'm going to try to pick where I think the zero is going to be. Don't really see anything that I like. Okay, this orange 000 hasn't come up in a while, so maybe it's due. Though I kind of like this to be a red number, so kind of looking over here at this brown. I think this is going to be a 0 right here. No, it has the 46 to it. I'm going to move on. Okay, I really don't like anything here as well. I'm going to move on. This is my last one here with this. Kind of think that this is going to be a red number, so I think the majority of the numbers will be over here. So I think I'm going to go with this yellow. So I'll get rid of the 11, 6, 16, 26, 42, 50, 58. So I'll get rid of the 42. And hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the overview and look for those 03s. Again, pretty close to the top except for the pink, or actually the brown, way down here. Okay, so let's take a look at those browns. Oh, it has the 46 to it. Okay, so moving on to 10B here. Okay, so I have another 3 option cards. Again, 10 groups, so it's the best one for the odds. Again, I'm looking for a 0, 000 that hasn't come up in a while. Kind of like this to be a green number. So I kind of like this brown to have a hit to it. The 12 to the 29 and the 35 to the 53. Okay, so I don't have any numbers there. Okay, so moving on. Kind of like to see this have a red number, so I believe the majority will be over here. Kind of liking this light blue to double up. On the triple zeros here. So I'll get rid of the 6, 7, 16, 40, 41, 43. So I'll get rid of the 41, 43. Okay, so getting rid of this one. Again, I need at least one number here, so I'll take the 57. So far I like the 5, 27, 46, 57. Okay, so moving on. I don't really like anything here, so I'm gonna check out the overview. Again, the 03s pretty close to the top. Here's one with the purple way down here. All the rest pretty close, so let's check out the purples. Okay, so I like that 27. Okay, I'm going to take a chance and I'm going to get rid of the 20, 28, 30, 38. Okay, so that leaves 2, 4, 6, 8 numbers. I already like the 5, 27, 46, 57. So now it's up to the 1, 8, 39, 47. Okay, so I'll keep on moving on. Not much for a 000 opportunity over here, so again, I think I already looked at this, so I'm going to move on to 10C. Again, I'm looking for a 000 that hasn't come up in a while. Kind of liking this pink. Yeah, I just knocked out the 2830, so I kind of like that. Okay, so I'm moving on. Again, here in the pink, 000 is way down here. Gets rid of the 46. I don't like that. Moving on. Kind of like this number to be a green number, which means I believe the majority will be over here. Means I kind of like this red to double up on the triple zeros over here. If there's nothing left, I'll check out the overview in the purple. Actually, the light blue. Let's check out the light blue. I can see a 0 being here. I will knock out the 57. Can't have that. The 41 still there? Nope. I'll go with this brown. Triple zero will double up. I'll get rid of that 39. And hopefully that number does not come up. Maybe this red. I'll get rid of that 8. Okay, so it's either the 1 or the 47. I think I like this purple to have another 0 to it. And I'll get rid of that 1. Okay, so that would bring me down to 5 numbers. So I'm going to go with the 5, 27, 46, 47, 57. Okay, now I've got to pick out a Powerball number. Okay, the number that just came up was the 19. Okay, so looking at this single red, single red, single red, single red, I'm going to say that this is going to be a red number that comes up. And over here, I think it's going to be evens. So I notice a pattern. No, where is it? Okay, like this 10. The 10 came up, then the 2, 20, then the 10 came right back up. Okay, I see this happen a lot. Here's the 9, 10, 7, 9 comes back up. The 4 kind of did this with the 4, 4, 24, and the 4 comes back up. But I think I'm going to go with the 14 here. The 14 comes up, then the 519, and I think the 14 will come right back up. Okay, so I'm going to go with the 14. Okay, so like Sherlock Holmes would say, it's a matter of deduction. So if, and the big word here is if, these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay, so let's take a look at the odds. The odds of getting the grand prize, all 5 white ball numbers and the red ball, the odds of winning it are 1 in 292 million. Okay, my game is geared up for the 5 white ball numbers. If you just get the 5 white ball numbers correct, it pays $2 million with the power play. So that $2 million prize is there every single drawing. Okay, so just to get the 5 white balls correct, the odds are 1 in 11,688,000 that you're going to get it correct. Okay, in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. Another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and the red ball that pays 50,000 plus the power play if you play it. You can see the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so going over a budget, I do like to play responsibly. So if I spend $3 per drawing, there's 3 drawings per week, 52 drawings per year. I will spend $468 if I play every lottery drawing per year. Okay, so moving on in closing, I'd just like to thank you for watching. Again, you can support my page through my Patreon at patreon.com/decoding the Powerball. And if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, that's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. As always, I'd like to wish you the best of luck with your picks. And again, there's $122 million on the line. So again, best of luck and thank you for watching.